Hello and welcome back to SimAirport. Okay, last episode round, we had a look at baggage handling and research. So we've got our initial first stab at baggage handling in place. Have a look underneath here. We've got our large baggage hub up here. We can always add another hub. It will go in this position here, and we could always expand ticketing in that direction. We could, of course, always expand it out this side too. As long as you have room to connect one of the outputs to the other hub either side, that will join them together and they'll act as one entity. And join each one of these sides to each desk, and then just have one output going all the way to your depot, and that'll work as intended. So we've got the conveyor going round, and we've got it under here. We've got it underneath the main terminal. Baggage claim, I think I am going to actually expand that down in this area eventually. But for now, until we can't really get another gate until we've expanded security and ticketing, made the capacity a lot larger. I should start by saying that a big thank you to Zelfia Ellison, who spotted in the first video for this airport that I'd put the metal detectors here next to the bag scanners, and what I was hoping is that they'd go to the check stand through the body metal detector through the scanner, and then put their bags on and carry on through. No, that hasn't quite worked out. What they were doing was doing the check stand, doing the metal detector, and then looping back around to go through the scanner, so it was causing an extra bit of pathing and making this whole thing a lot more laborious than it needed to be. So hopefully I've moved these now, and hopefully this is going to make this flow a little bit easier. After the initial problems on that first day with the queues, hopefully these queues are going to function correctly. And I've also just done a little bit of a rejig here on these queues too. The only other thing I've done, I wasn't quite happy with the way these offices were sort of staggered. So I've kind of taken it a little bit of a different route and actually reclaimed a little bit of this space. And I've put a couple of ATMs there, and there's a little bit of room for passengers to stand and use the ATMs, and they're not actually interrupting the flow of traffic here. We've got another couple of ATMs in the space here. They may as well queue outside the ATMs. There's already a queue here. And there's still plenty of room for people to get out and through. And I think I've removed one wall and some flight info displays from this area here. The restrooms are unchanged. I've put another board in there. Rejigged this just so that it's symmetrical. Do like my symmetry. Added a plant, I think. I don't know if that was there before, not too sure. Expanded the paving so that it's in front of the ticketing area. Now, what I'm thinking of working on next is sorting out this area. So I want to expand the foundations up. We've only got $97,000 and we still need to do some research. So I'm going to start the game and we'll get it on the fastest speed. But I want to get some foundations in. And I think eventually what the plan is ticketing is going to be at the top. And we'll put the entrance to the airport up here, and we'll probably move deliveries and perhaps move drop-offs as well. And then they'll come through into this area down here, and we'll block this door, and we'll have security down in this area. So it will give us an awful lot more capacity. I can move sort of security over and have it actually going up here. Yeah, hopefully that'll give us plenty of room. As I said before, the male restrooms, I think, will end up being mirrored on this side here as we put in the next gate. And then those restrooms will actually serve two areas. And for now, these offices are fine as they are. I quite like this little workaround with the ATMs. People are queuing for the benches, but there's plenty over here, so it shouldn't be. Let's have a look at this flight then, see how it gets on. People are coming off, they're going out. Waiting on baggage loading. Yep, the baggers are coming off for the departing passengers. 93 boarded, and it's going to wait early, so that's a good start. How are we doing on? Need to keep an eye on how your queues are doing. See if you're getting any bottlenecks. This queue seems to work quite nicely there. Just having that little bit of space, and then they've got some room to manoeuvre here. So that's working out nicely. Let's watch this queue next. So we have all of the passengers departing. We know that's working okay. People are queuing for this flight, and now they're boarding the plane. We're not getting too many people milling around at the end of the queue there, so I think that's a good capacity. Right, how's ticketing doing? Let's have a look now. I love this. I haven't seen anybody do that. Not that I've watched many of other people's recordings of this game, only a few of my favourites, but this is great. This is a lovely little cheat. It keeps people out of the ticketing area. We're not getting any bottlenecks so far. Let's have a look at the status. Yeah, we've still got quite a few flights to go. And they can certainly, the people who've used the outdoor kiosks are certainly making the best use of that space. And the good thing is, the ones who've used the kiosks are actually going and queuing through security before these guys have even used the ticketing desk. So I'm just using this time to gather a little bit of money in order to get some of these foundations built. I do want to destroy some of the fencing here, but what I think I might do, if I put that in place first, all the way up to where we want the building to stop, the workmen could be working on it. We can destroy the fence, and we won't get that problem that you get with having the airport unsecured, and we'll just expand. We'll expand the foundation out further. It's a bit of a pig's ear way of doing it, but it saves us having that issue. Right, we've got 85,000. And I want to have a quick look at research and see if there's anything we can do. Right, pricing is completed. We're still researching standby gates. Road building is completed. I think that's 30,000. Wow, I don't really want to do 90,000 on that, but we'll do bag clothes. And standby gates is still being researched as well. Multi-lane access. I'm not too bothered about that, but that's the next obvious thing to research. So, right now we know how much money we've got. We can start filling in some of these foundations. And it is going to mean that we're going to need to destroy some ticketing desks and some conveyors underneath. But you know, part of the game at this stage. And we're not doing anything fancy by putting any windows in or anything nice like that. This is very basic at this stage, just to get us going. It might be a good idea for us to bring in an air traffic control tower too. It's 30,000. We don't have enough money now, so that's definitely not going to happen today. And we can now we've got pricing, we can actually fiddle with the pricing and get us a little bit more money going on. I think we'll be safe to clear all of that. And that piece of fence there can go too, because we've got this one here with the gate. Okay, that's great. Now, what we'll need to do now, how much money? No, we don't have enough, so I think I'll bump the price up a little bit. Let's go. We don't want to upset anybody just yet. The airlines aren't that happy with us. Passengers are not going to be happy if you start putting the prices up too much at this early stage. Anyway, later on in the game, yeah, you can really bump the prices up, and then you won't get a lot of grief at all. Okay, our little baggage car is working out quite well. So we've got 13,000. Wow, okay. What have we got in our storage area? Garbage bin, outdoor gate. The outdoor gate can be sold. We've got some plants, metal detector. Well, we will need these things. Bag scanner, flight info, office chair. Office chair can go. We're not going to need another one of those. Okay, so we've got some stuff to expand the security area a little bit. 14,000, okay. So all of our stuff went out okay today. Airline interest, I think, has gone up. Passenger satisfaction. Environment, they're not too happy. I haven't put any flooring down. Anything pretty in particular. I'm definitely getting some more interest from some of these airlines. Ooh, look at the lights on the runway there. So we've got 13,000. So this is inbound, so we've got another day on the go. We're up to 17,000 there. The queues, see the people that mill around at the end of the queue is a little bit odd. But these are working out okay. I don't appear to need many more ticketing kiosks at this stage. I can always put some more, even along here. But 4 seems to be coping with this number of passengers so far. Right, we've got this this flight coming in here. Wow. So this one is due to depart at 9 AM. It looks like we're going to get away early on this one too. So with a bit of careful jiggling, we could probably squeeze another flight in by the look of it. Because we've certainly given them plenty of time. Nobody's getting hung up in any of the queues. I wanted to leave it a couple of days in-game just to get a feel for that. But we could probably think about putting in some ticketing desks up here and get this this area. Now it's going to say it's blocked until we delete the ones that are already there. So maybe what we should do is make this area next and put those kiosks in and delete those and then put those ones back. So perhaps if we put another baggage hub in here. And as I said, as long as you join them, that won't overlap, as long as you join them at the top, so you join 2 of these pink things here, that will link them together. So how much money? Yeah, this is starting to cost us cash now. Right. I'm going to get that foundation in as a start. That's taken us right down to practically nothing. Let's see if we can bump the price up a touch. And we'll definitely add those other ticketing desks over here, and then we'll delete these and put them in back in here, and we can delete then the conveyors that go up. And because these are already linked to this hub, we don't need to redo any of that. That's all still in place, working nicely. So how much more foundation can we afford? Do another 10,000. Yep. We can start clearing then a few of these walls and things, give ourselves a bit of space to get those desks in. Haven't quite got enough room just yet, and we won't have the money to buy the desks anyway, but while this is running, you can see where we're gonna get this moving. We'll move the gate then, the doorway up here. Probably what we'll do is close this off completely, put another bank of ticketing kiosks, and then maybe put the gate here. And then this whole area then here, probably down in that sort of a space, can be for security. So that is my plan. Let's get another batch of foundations in. Click on the foundation button first would be a good idea. We're really pushing it, trying to get this done bit by bit, but I wouldn't normally be trying to do this on day 9. I'd normally be letting the game run a little bit more first, but everything seems to be running okay, and we're making money, and we're doing our research. Actually, let's just check how are we doing on research. So standby gates are now completed, bank loans are completed. We don't have enough money to do anything else, and I'd rather put the foundations in. I'm not going to bother with a loan personally. I'd rather do it without having to rely on that. Now, what we can do, this isn't ideal, but what we could do is start to put some of these ticketing kiosks in. So that is like that, okay. Ooh, why is that? Hang on a second. They're right next to that wall. Where is the... Oh, that's very strange. You would think that space would be free. Let's try that again. Ticketing desks. So it will let me put it there, but not there. Blocked by existing underground endpoint. I'm not sure I want to put it that far away from the back. I don't suppose it will hurt. How much are these each? They're quite expensive. Yeah, that's very odd. Cannot be in a secure area. Okay, let's I wonder if that was because of the it may well have been. Let's get rid of this then. That may have well, let's clear one. And we'll see if I can now place that one where I want to, then we'll clear the others. Where have you come from? No, that's... okay. They've come off somewhere else now, haven't they? I need some more staff then. So we're going to need 3, 4. Otherwise we're going to be struggling at the gate. Okay, so we've got these 4 gates in place. So what we can do now is dismantle. Let's dismantle 2. And we will clear the conveyor line to those 2. Up to the point that we want the ticketing desks to go in. And then we'll move those 2 ticketing desks up. And hopefully then move the other 2 in a moment. Hopefully we're going to have enough money. Yes. Okay. So queues probably need sorting first. Let's assign this to... Can we... assign 2. There's no queue within range. Ah, that's quite interesting, isn't it? I didn't want to do the queues just yet, if I'm honest, but let's put a little bit of a queue in and see if we can sort of make it happy that way. That will do for now, just for these purposes. Okay, so we want to... Let's assign this one to Oh, how strange. Why is that not letting me use this queue? It's because there's already a queue, probably. So if we... yeah, it's probably because there's already a queue here. Okay, so let's try that again then. Let's come out of queues. So this is assigned to this queue. This is assigned to this queue. And so on. And so on. And we will now... oh dear. Let's... oh, I know why. The zone isn't set. Ticketing. They're quite clever, these people. They've managed to work out that ticketing is up there now. So I'm going to dismantle you and you. And we'll demolish these lines for the conveyors right up to there. Probably a bit further than I need to, but I just want it to make sure it works. Okay, so we'll put these desks back. And now we can work on the queue a little bit more. We'll expand this queue this way. For now we'll just do this sort of... whoa, not like that. I'm going to say we'll just do this sort of thing. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take this queue completely out from there now, and we'll start it in the middle and have it coming across and that way. Until we can afford to build the rest of that terminal. Right, let's get these assigned before people start freaking out. Right, so we should have plenty of ticketing desks now. And we'll need to redo the queues again in a moment, once we've got more money. We've got a little bit more money. Right, okay, great. So I want to close this door off. Do we just want to put the entrance there? I probably want to perhaps shrink this queue. Let's do the foundations first. You see, this is the thing with this game. You end up rebuilding everything eventually in order to fit everything in. Right, I need to put my conveyors back in. I've just realised that the guy came with his baggage car. Already done those. That's a nice touch, actually, that the area will still work even if you haven't got a conveyor in place. Now we can shrink these queues again and get this queue area set up correctly. And we'll unzone down here. Where do we think to? Probably sort of here, maybe. And we'll expand ticketing across, and we'll probably, you know, buff this out a little bit too. Let's get the queue a little bit better than it is at the moment. Leaving a gap in the middle there for perhaps some flight info displays, something like that. I think that should be plenty of queuing space. So we should be able to fit a flight info board in there, I think. Yeah, that should be okay, shouldn't it? Where do they come out of that queue? My god, I've lost sight of it. So that's not going to work. Right, let's redo the queue again. They're sneaking around without going through. Okay, let's just have it going straight the way. Oh dear, I'm not very good with this mouse. Let's have it going straight away across then. For now. Oh my god, I've done it again. This might... oh no! Shrink queue, please. Expand queue, please. Oh, jeez, come on. You can do it. It's only dragging a straight line across the screen, for God's sake. Let's try that. That should be plenty of queuing space, I think. And can they get out afterwards? Yeah, they just seem to walk straight through the queue. It's quite funny. So let's do a bit more foundation again. And I think we'll put the entrance to the terminal there. So we'll get a large sliding door. Get that rotated. And I think... I mean, should we put it here? Just looking at how much room security is going to take. And in fact, I might want to, let's leave it for the moment. Perhaps let's get all of this sorted and built before. Yeah, get all that done before we actually start thinking about moving security, because we'll have the queue down here and we'll put as many of these in as we can, but the problem is these are 2 spaces high, so we're going to have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 will be here, and that's very close to the end, so we'll need the wall to walk through to security somewhere around here. It doesn't leave a lot of space. Okay, well that'll be fine for now. Let's clear this wall then. And we'll just expand this ticketing zone. I don't think ticketing needs to be any bigger than it is there. So that queue should be fine for this area. And we'll put something pretty in here, because we don't have an awful lot of stuff. Never did put the flight info board in, did I? Flight info display. Could it go in the middle? Or anybody going to read that there? Okay, never mind. This works really brilliantly. So we're almost half an hour in already, believe it or not. I haven't even checked the schedule to make sure everything's going okay, which I should do. Let's have a look at that next. So schedule, everything's departed so far, something's at the gate. Final approach en route, yep, this is all fine. Research, let's have a look at research. Okay, we've got no research going on at all, but we don't have much money. Upgraded buses would probably be a good thing to get next. Okay, let's carry on with what we're doing. I think once I've got this space open a little bit more and perhaps joined to the rest of the terminal, I'll be able to make a decision as to, you know, where security needs to move to. And we're going to have to probably build... Uh-oh, something went wrong. What's happened here? Why did you all arg at me? Something happened, they missed their flight. Break deadlock, oh jeez. Wasn't keeping an eye on that. Oh, that's buggered up the schedule. Cancelled. We don't have another gate, you see, so it kind of messes everything up. We can't fall back to another gate. Let's watch the queue for a second then. Definitely getting a lot of people through. Is that going on time? 11:45? No, that one was late. Okay. Okay, well we've done an awful lot today. I need to figure out where I want to move these kiosks to, where I want to put the door. Oh, just had an autosave, scared me for a second. I think I might put the door in now, and we can always move it if we need to. And then we can actually dismantle this door once that one's in, and put a wall in, which is right down the bottom. Hopefully we've got enough money to seal that hole up. Yes, good, okay. We'll put a bit of sidewalk outside because that does seem to do the trick. 2, 3, 4. That's worked out quite well, hasn't it? And I could put 4 more ticketing kiosks in here and another plant, I think. Yeah, let's do that before we finish. Oh, I've run out of money. We need another flight. We need another flight, please. But I think that's some progress. Ticketing is greatly improved, I think. People come straight in, up and through to ticketing. We don't have enough info. I realise that one board there is not going to really do the trick. So we might actually end up dismantling these and moving them. But I want to just get this section sorted first. We can move security over down here. And then start expanding. It should be good. I've got enough money to put a couple of those ticketing kiosks in. I do like to put them all in the grouped together. I think we do, yeah, that's good. That's quite nice actually, the way that's worked out, because we've got a couple of nice trees. Either side. I think I'll dismantle this bin and we'll just put another tree in there, and then that's all nice and symmetrical. Pretty good. So that is probably where I'm going to leave this one for today. Bit of a snafu with that gate getting deadlocked, but you saw how easy it was to break it. You just need to realise it's happening. We've expanded our ticketing desks to 8 now, and we need to make sure we've got 8 security stations set up in the same way as this here, with adequate queuing coming down this way too. So we'll probably mirror this amount of queue in that area and then set up security down here as well. And I might actually orientate these differently to be more vertical, but we just need to get that little last parcel of build back in there. And then, so that'll be very early on in the next episode, but after that what we will need to do then is expand the terminal out this way. So lots and lots of work still to do. Now we've got this capacity, and once we've got bag scanners and all of this security expanded as well, we can buy another gate. So we are growing rapidly. There's research just quickly. Nothing being researched right now. Upgraded buses is probably something that would be good. Get more people into the airport more quickly. But for now, that is today's episode of SimAirport. Hope you enjoyed that one. I think that was episode 5 already. This goes so quickly. So until next time, take care, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.